Whoa!
Bet you didn't see me.
If you guys saw one of our videos from earlier this month, I am leaving the Philippines for a few months. After living here for almost 2 years now, on and off. I mean, we left for a few months last year too.
It's interesting because we've probably been in the country of the Philippines for about 1.5 years, but I think I have probably like 20 Philippine stamps in my passport.
I mean, so we got back here in October 2023, and I think we've only left like 3 weeks total since then, and now it's April.
So we're enjoying our life here in the Philippines.
Yeah.
But he is departing very shortly. So he's going to give you some things that he's going to miss. And I've experienced short bursts of leaving the Philippines too, so I'll chime in a tiny bit as well.
He just doesn't have the impact of knowing the impending doom of leaving.
Going back to Minnesota.
Minnesota? Hopefully it's warm because it's been snowing there recently.
It was apparently a very mild winter, as in it was pretty warm and there wasn't much snow, and then all of a sudden April hits and it starts snowing.
What the heck?
I couldn't even tell what this is.
It looks like a dead chicken. No, Doc, he's dead. But if you want to check out that video, we kind of tell you where we're going with this channel. The link will be hopefully down in the pinned comment below. Anyways, let's get into this. Things I'm going to miss in the Philippines. And first and foremost are the friendliness here in the Philippines. I mean, the workers are always friendly. And when we went back to LA last year specifically, I don't know what it is about you LA people, but the airport people were so unfriendly. I don't even know why.
It's polarizing. Being back in Minnesota, which is supposedly one of the friendliest places in the US, sometimes the service workers were, I wouldn't call them unfriendly, but
it wasn't the same. It wasn't like the hello sir, blah blah, you know.
And then even like some of the people we ran into, it just seemed kind of fake. Maybe it's just because we understand it more, but a lot of the interactions seem very fake.
Yeah, so
like it's friendly but not genuine.
It's interesting. It's interesting to see that. Especially in California. I don't know why, but yeah, it was just so weird. Like, there's not rude people. Even in the Philippines and in Asia in general, we haven't run into many like super rude people, but there was just like straight up rude people in LA.
Yeah.
They'd just be like, get out of my way! And we'd be like, what the heck? Going back to that is gonna be shocking and not something I'm going to be a fan of necessarily.
I mean, in the Philippines, there's like a genuine curiosity in another person. Like, they actually want to get to know you. Like, it's not all about that. There is the occasional, like, it's usually the younger teen, or sometimes like some more rowdy adults. They tend to just kind of say things to us to entertain their friends, and they don't care about us at all.
No.
So there is those situations, but I would take that 100 times over unfriendly people.
Okay, so let's go back in time. The few times we've left for long periods of time and then went back to the US. One time I was in Europe for about a month, came back to the US. Somebody was getting arrested right outside the airport in New York City. I was like, oh, welcome back to the US. Okay, so then the other time we left for like 3.5 months, and we got on a train, and this random guy was just staring me down and like was just, I don't know, it was such an odd situation.
Eating some Pepperidge Farm biscuits.
And then he just walked up and he dropped the biscuits in front of me, and then he just looked at me and then he just walked away. I don't know what the heck I did. I was just standing there, but
he didn't see the part either where the guy was flicking him off when he wasn't looking. When Tyler wasn't looking, he was flicking him off for no reason.
My just essence just offends people.
And also, we're in the Minneapolis metro, like the rail. Some of the stops are literally just homeless camps.
Really odd. And that's not the place we live in Minneapolis. We live far outside of it. So we don't really experience that. And then we don't experience like what it's like in LA either.
We were luckily saved by the fact that there was a baseball game going and people ride the metro thing for the baseball games. But I think we could have got robbed if we weren't at that time.
But yeah, that's one thing we'll miss. I mean, it's just different attitudes. There's definitely a sense of entitlement, I think, in a lot of places in the US, which isn't really that prevalent in Asia. Maybe in some of the richer places you might see that, but even in the Philippines for sure, and in greater Asia, I don't really see that as often. Before we went home last time, we went to Japan and Taiwan, and people were so friendly. Another thing I'm going to miss is, of course, living here in grass residences, and pretty much any other condo you live in the Philippines. You're going to be right next to a massive mall.
Oh, I thought you were going to say missing the 20 square meter room.
No, I won't miss that. It's very small in here.
His room in his house is about this size, maybe a little smaller.
Yeah, that's just my bedroom. The malls here, I mean, basically anything you could want is going to be in the mall, located about a 5-minute walk away from you, whether it's any shopping thing, any electronic, food, stuff like that. It's right there, very convenient, don't have to drive anywhere to get it. Even though in the US you basically can order anything, it'll come to your door in a day or two. But not having that mall is going to be like a oof.
Where we live is basically 5-minute drive, maybe 10-minute drive to get groceries.
Yeah.
And then if you want anything more than that, you're going 15 to 30 minutes.
Yeah, we live out there, so if you want a specific restaurant, even like something like, I mean, I'll go into the next thing here, which kind of goes with malls, is food. Like something like Popeyes, which you can find in every single mall or random places throughout Manila. I gotta drive 30 minutes to Popeyes and 30 minutes back. So not gonna get any dang Popeyes.
I mean, like each time we go abroad for a while, by the time we get back, I'm craving some Philippines Popeyes, some Filipino food, some bangus, some milk tea from the Philippines. I don't know what it is about the Philippines milk tea.
It's zooped up sugar to the max.
So I imagine you'll be missing some of that stuff as well.
Places like Coco, I'm definitely gonna miss. I mean, you cannot get that in Minnesota for sure. You can't get really any Filipino food. They have Filipino restaurants, but it's not gonna be the same. Can't get any fresh mangoes off of the street for super cheap. It's just gonna be, there's just gonna be those things that you can't get in Minnesota especially. I mean, a lot of people say, wait, they have that in the US supermarkets? Maybe in California, not in Minnesota.
California may be one of the most influential states, and a lot of people do live there, but not everyone lives there.
The third most spoken language in California is Tagalog, so there you go. You know what the third one is in Minnesota? It's probably Somali.
Oh yeah, Somali.
I guess we could find some Somali food probably
Yeah,
if we wanted to. Another thing I miss that really won't affect me until towards the end of when I'm in Minnesota is the weather. And winters in Minnesota get extremely cold and you hate your life when that's happening. Here, you don't have to deal with the extreme cold. You do have to deal with the extreme heat because right now outside it's unbearably hot.
There was some nice weather not too long ago, but yeah, it's been blazing these last few weeks.
When I go back to Minnesota, it will be perfect weather. Like it will be like literally like perfect. Like you can go outside and not sweat. But when the winter rolls around, I'm gonna be missing this. Another thing I will miss are the prices in the Philippines. The US, we haven't been there for like basically 2 years now. And we haven't bought anything the few times we did go back during the last 2 years. It's outrageously expensive now. I just saw a video about Jollibee in the US and then I was curious, so I looked up like what his meal that he gets always here in the Philippines.
My burger steak.
And how much is it, sir, in USD?
You said it was like $10, right?
Oh, I mean, what do you pay for? What do you pay here in the Philippines?
I think $3.
In the US, it's $10.50 for 2 burger steaks and rice. I don't think that's acceptable.
That is absurd.
When we went to Popeyes last time, and by the way, like I said, we had to drive an hour just to get it. It was $30 for the 2 of us.
That's insane.
So imagine paying like 1,600 pesos just for 2 people at Popeyes.
And again, that is more of a rural area in Minnesota. So I can't imagine what California is like.
With our vlogging income, living in the Philippines, that's something you're gonna miss too. Being able to live off of something like what we do. We could not live off of this in the US without living with our parents.
We make below the poverty line in the US, I believe, income. So yeah, I don't think we can survive in the US.
And here we're living in a nice condo next to one of the biggest malls in the world and can eat out literally whenever we want. Another thing that kind of goes with that I'm gonna miss obviously is just vlogging and doing these videos, because when we went home only for 2 months last time, we kind of missed making content and doing creative things, because editing videos is less creative than actually filming the videos.
Especially our vlogs. There's only certain parts where we can add some creative twang to it.
Not being able to go out and go to like new places and film videos and do all these fun things that you get to do while vlogging is going to be something I'm going to miss for sure. It's just, I mean, that's why we're doing it. It was kind of the dream job to be a travel vlogger, and now we're doing it. And now I can't for a while, so rip.
Where we'll be able to make some epic Discord content.
Oh yeah, gaming content, guys, coming soon.
Civilization 6, the most entertaining game to watch ever.
Dang nabbit, because that's probably the game we're gonna play first.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna freaking make any content out of that. Maybe Fortnite. Pig will be that
Battle
bad, right? Roblox, that's the big games now, right? Yeah. But yeah, vlogging, obviously gonna miss that. Can't really do much of that in the US. I'll try to make some videos for you guys there. there, because I know a lot of people have actually asked to see some like living in Minnesota type of content, so I'll try to make some.
I don't know how to describe it, but we have a video about our last stop in the U.S. where we were back for a little bit for his sister's wedding, also my cousin, their wedding, and that video is in the works.
Yeah, it'll come out sometime. Eventually.
Be a long video about sort of Minnesota stuff as well.
Yeah.
So.
And reverse culture shock.
Yes.
But yeah, that's just another thing. And the last thing I'm going to miss is just having access to cool places for low prices. Being in the Philippines, obviously we can fly Cebu Pacific or Philippines Air Asia anywhere in the Philippines, see some crazy beautiful locations for pretty cheap. I mean, hotels in the Philippines compared to other places in Southeast Asia aren't great price for some reason. I still don't know why that's a thing. We can still get places very cheap, and not to mention other countries. We can fly to Malaysia for $50. We can fly to Jakarta for $50. China, $50. There's so many places you could fly to for like $50. And it's so nice to have that access.
Where we are located in Minnesota, if you want anything cool, you're driving about 6 hours.
And that's for like medium cool.
Yeah, that's like some hills, some rocky cliffs along the Mississippi River or something like that.
You want decent sized mountains, it's about 10 to Rapid City. And then if you want big mountains, it's about 14 to Colorado. That's a long way. Not actually, it'd probably take us 14 hours to get across Metro Manila though.
I mean, if you're going from south to north.
Well, yeah, that's just pretty much a lot of the things I'm going to miss about living in the Philippines and being here. Maybe I'll bring somebody back too, because that's the big thing, right? Bringing a family member to the Philippines.
I mean, we're going to make 20 videos out of that, right? That's how it works. That's what we've seen.
Milk it.
Buying tickets for them. They're flying to the Philippines, packing for the Philippines, on the plane for the Philippines, landed in the Philippines.
We're joking about that, but literally we probably have to do that because it seems like you need to hype it up so much. It's because you guys click on these videos. It's your fault. But yeah, that's all the things I'm going to miss. But what are the things I'm not going to miss? It's TriFate. We got to complain about something, all right?
We never complain. What are you talking about?
We're just too real for you people that don't like complaints.
I would hate if someone complained. I hate complaints. Get it? I'm complaining about complaints.
One thing I'm not going to miss, going to do this part quick. Traffic. The traffic in Manila is literally the worst in the world.
They just updated the list. I think Bangalore might have been the worst before, and now they dethroned.
And we were just in Bangalore, and it was awful.
So, Manila, oof.
Oof, it takes a long time. I hate going to the airport. I hate it. Another thing I'm not really gonna miss is that everywhere is fracking busy always. Go to the mall, there's a million people in there. You go pretty much anywhere, there's just gonna be so many people. We live in suburban Minnesota, which is not a very populous state and an even less populous town, so not much traffic, not many people.
The amount of people we see in a mall on any given day could be the size of our city we live in back in the US.
That is literally true. I'm not gonna miss sweating every time I go outside. That is one thing, especially in this time of year. Going outside, I just literally just start sweating like crazy. Is it salty? Another thing I'm not going to miss is the Wi-Fi, specifically here in Grass, because our first Airbnb that we ever had in the Philippines had super good fracking Wi-Fi.
We're getting like 200 upload and download.
We literally couldn't upload the videos like we did back then if we were in Grass. We uploaded daily back then, and they would upload in probably like 30-40 minutes. Now they take hours.
His Wi-Fi specifically, because he's locked in with Globe. They have no more PLDT in this tower. What are you rocking, like a 2 or 3 upload?
Probably.
Everything else about the Wi-Fi is usually pretty decent, but the upload speed is atrocious.
It doesn't work as a YouTuber.
Mine is better, but it still takes me like 3 hours to upload our videos.
Mine takes about 8. Yeah, it doesn't really work. So going back home and getting like 50 times better, then this Wi-Fi is going to make a huge difference for editing and uploading and stuff.
Not to say the Wi-Fi in the US is good or Wi-Fi service providers are good, but he's not going to have to pay for it.
No, that's true. Wi-Fi companies in the US are just as predatory as they are here. There's one company that goes to my area in my town. How is that not like illegal or something? How is that even a thing?
If you want Wi-Fi, you got one option.
That's so absurd. And it's expensive as nuts. And it's not even that good. It's just better than this. Yeah, another thing I'm not going to miss is the Grass Residence's elevators. They suck. They're hot, and they're super frackin' slow.
They have 6 elevators for 40 floors. Is enough, you would think. But there's at least 1 or 2 always out. There's been times where 5 of them were out. and it's literally one single elevator. That is insane. It was so bad before Christmas. So what happens when I come over here for us to film videos is I go down and then I go over to his tower and I go up. There's been 2 times where that's taken me a half an hour.
Should be like a 5-minute thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of problems with Victoria Station 1 where we stayed originally, but there's a lot of times where I'm like, wow, I really wish we were just there right now, because that one there's benefits to that one that we're just like, dang, grass has its problems, but it's also one of the most convenient places to stay.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's just go to BGC, dude.
$1,000 a month.
$1,000, dude. Easy peasy. Another thing I won't miss is cockroaches, because cockroaches are gross and they suck. And the final thing I won't miss are weird white dudes with super young women that clearly don't know what they're getting themselves into.
It's been increasingly common here, and I feel so sorry to see it happening.
There's so many now. There's so many. Like, we go out to SM North, I think I see more old white dudes out there than Filipinos.
I think there was a very old guy. I mean, he's borderline can't walk, and I had seen him a few times with one girl, and then I saw him the other day with another girl.
They just go through them like they're going through...
Like they're bowling some bowling pins.
Yep. Knock down a pin, go to the next one.
Spare. It seems as though Philippines, along with other countries in South America and such, has become a hotspot for sex tourism and also retirement sex tourism.
It's getting really bad here in Manila. I don't know. It's like really here in Grass seems to be like a target zone. Like there's so many. Like I can't even explain. There's so much.
Not only that, but there's also even been younger people that seem like they come here for the women, and even a lot of people from Africa recently, in Grass specifically, have came here for the women. Which, if you're here and you have a girlfriend, good for you. If you came here for the women, I don't know about that.
I don't know, Walt. Yeah, it's pretty interesting because it seems like that is literally why a lot of these people are here, is for that specifically. It's like there's a big forum somewhere and they're like, guys, let's go. And they all just show up in these, sometimes in like the African guys, it's like in big groups of like 10 of them.
And I mean, they're coming here for normal tourism purposes.
They're not.
I have no issue, but yeah, they're not.
And yeah, and then some of them try to be vloggers, which is super weird too. The sex tourism vlogs are so weird, and it's disappointing when you see those videos get views and you're like, ugh, why are they supporting this?
Yeah, I mean, it's like the blatant, like they're treating women as objects in the video.
They just put them in their thumbnail and they're not even in the video.
Yeah.
It's rough to see. And we know a lot of the people that are in those situations don't even know what they're getting into. Mm-hmm. So that's also another sad thing. Yeah, won't miss that.
No, you'll just have a different form of weird white dudes.
Trumpers?
Yeah, the Trumpers.
The weird white dudes in the US will just be all like super into politics or incels or hicks or... Yeah, there's weird people there too, but at least they're not like blatantly predatory in public like they are here.
There's some shame along with that. Whereas I do think there's shame here, but there's a side that accepts it as well.
Yeah.
The age gap couples is more accepting, I guess. Which... if they're happy, they're happy. I don't know if most of them are, though.
They can claim they are.
Yeah.
They're both getting something out of it, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be believing that after a while, but we'll see. You'll never know. Thanks for watching, guys. We had to end it with that little PSA.
I kind of like those guys.
I know you do. Yeah, that's what you're here for. The ducklings.
My pockets are a bit empty and I want a celebrity baby.
Right?
Oh god, he looks...
Thanks for watching, everybody. Hopefully you enjoyed. Just listen to our PSA. Let's eradicate the sex tourists, right?
Yeah, let's just have relationships where both people benefit in the way that
what do you mean?
Is good. No predatory relationships, please.
Are you saying 18 and 70 is too predatory?
That's not even the most extreme ones we've seen here.
Do you mean the ones that say, I go to the provinces because they don't even know?
They're more submissive and they do what I say.
Oh yeah. Or the ones in videos that we've seen that say, you know, these girls get in the relationship and they start getting the money and they can't leave. They can't leave. The guy can do whatever he wants and they can't leave.
They have no choice. That's a predatory relationship.
That's literally what we see. So if you want to comment and say that's not real, we've literally seen those videos. This video took a turn.
Yeah, we're trying to stand up because we have a voice and we're using that voice for good.
Yeah, even though this channel only has 6,000 subs. Maybe it has more.
Roar!
Ah!
No, Duck, you were into that stuff. Why are you standing up with us? Have you changed?
I just like to stand for things sometimes.
What is your opinion on the U.S. election coming soon?
Trump 2024!
What about Kennedy?
Kennedy 2024!
Who's that one girl, Republican woman?
Nikki Haley?
Yeah, how about Nikki Haley?
I hate women.
Oh,